Hello to my panel and my audience. My name is Lo Kai Jian. My matrix number is 01DEM20F1025. I'm from class DEM24A and I am from the group 1. So today I'm going to talk about our final year project. Our abstract is to creating a safe and secure environment for hospital staff represents a significant challenge for facility and estate managers working in hospital. Our project aims to design a safety box with UV light in purpose to kill bacteria and germs on things that are being used in medical field by keeping them inside the safety box. So at the end of the academic season 2, 2021/2022, we should be able to identify the user needs, problem and constraint. Besides, we also should be able to brainstorm through observation and do discussion based on what we want to tackle. And the last, we should be able to recognize steps that can be taken to overcome the needs, problem and constraint above.
Hi, my name is Krishan, son of S.A. Kumar, and my matrix number is 01DF20F1019. Let us look about the introduction. Teachers say they found UV lights kill viruses and bacteria in real setting in minutes. They say the lamps are safe and save lives. The safety box is a secure bird that is used to keep valuable objects to keep them safe from being trapped or being damaged by the environment like fire or water. The safety box are normally cuboid in shape with a door on one side that can be locked. Let's see about the background of the problem. Since March 2020, the entire world was shocked about the COVID-19 pandemic. Many clinics and hospitals were covered by many patients. Many people were worried about the germs and bacteria that could spread to hospital equipment such as stethoscope. The government were worried about the sanitation of the hospital equipment every day and worried about the expensive cost will cost them. Therefore, our group have come with an invention that is called UV light sanitizer safety box. Let us go into the problem statement. All invasive procedure involve contact between a medical device or surgical instrument and a patient's cerebral tissue or muscular glands. The main risk of all such procedure is introduction of pathogenic microbes that could lead to infections. So, the cleaning of the hospital equipment must be present high level of disinfection and sterilization. In order to reduce the associated with continued patient care, our group estimated the UV sanitizer box. Scope of the project. As the project has been based on the concept of integrating the benefit of human health, social concern, and national cleanliness policy. Therefore, it covers many sections of proposed benefits to all spheres of present life. The aim to design and develop a low-cost UV light sanitizer box machine that will help the community to killing the germs without any problem. Considering the above problems, we are going to design and fabricate such a machine that will eliminate most of the issues, so the human effort is reduced and getting more effective and reduce health issues. Let us look into the expected results. This project will help to sanitize the hospital equipment by killing the germs and bacteria that will cause harm to human health. This has been far better than the existing system and reduce the risk involved in the manual sanitizing held by the humans. The operation of the system is simple and it also provides the flexibility.
Salutations. My name is Sakti Sundram, and my matrix number is 01DEM20F1017. So now, let us examine how our project was decided at the first place. We began by discussing with one another. We were tasked with including research on the provided topic. Then we all gathered and exchanged our thoughts and the research we had done to each other. Then we also concentrated on finding an issue and developing a project to fix it. As a result of that approach, we discovered the problem in the medical area, which resulted in the spread of viruses and germs from medical supplies to patients due to a lack of sufficient equipment storage space. We targeted the clinics specifically, so we came up with an idea by combining two separate projects, which is a safety box and UV disinfectant.
So this is the survey that we sent for some medical staff and other people to seek their opinion. We asked about the security of the safety box, the efficiency of sanitizer, user experience, and alternate way to allow people that we trust to open, and the last is design. So from the end of the result, we can know that the most important is the security of safety box, continue with the alternate ways, efficiency, user experience, and the last is the design of the safety box.
My name is Melkian, version number 01DEM20F1017. For the literature review, safety box can store valuable things but cannot kill germs and bacteria. But for UV light sanitizer, it can kill germs and bacteria but cannot store valuable things. So our group decided to make a project which is the combination of safety box and UV light sanitizer.
So now let us see the customer requirement. Based on our research, we identified a few key criteria as client requirements. They like a good door lock and a promising security system. When it comes to health safety, everyone prefers UV light disinfectant, of course. So in that case, our project already includes such elements.
So how we construct our project with the customer requirement? First, we need to find the suitable material with our product. Next, we need to get a good result of the cleanliness. And last, we need have the high percentage of safety.
As you can see, this will be our house of quality. So according to our table, we can see that safety takes the first place in the rank, followed by cost of production, and the third place goes to quality control. Weight will be in 4th, battery life in 5th, and the last ranking goes to weight.
So this table is the brainstorming of our project. So for our title, UV light sensitizer safety box, there will be the power supply, the body will be the box and the ultraviolet light, and the sensor will be the fingerprint sensor and an alternate lock and a buzzer as our response to our sensor. There will also be the DC motor and a programming which we will be using microcontroller. So this is the morphological chart that we will use some of these components in our project. There are UV light shape for our safety box, and then the fingerprint scanner as our main lock in our project, and then the microcontroller which will be used to programming. In this slide, we will also use other component in our project, which is the buzzer, servo motor to control the movement of the lock, and then the alternate electronic lock which are choosing which are the biometric, numerical, security and RFID, and we choose one as our alternate electronic lock, and then the material of safety box which is metal, wood and plastic.
This is the first design. As you can see, front view, side view and top view. The isometric view, I use the UVC strip to sanitize. This is the top view, front view and side view of the CAD drawing using the Mastercam 2022. The length is 50 cm, the height and the weight is 45 cm, and the material used is metal. This is the isometric view of the CAD drawing. I use the electromechanical buzzer, fingerprint sensor, optical and numerical lock. And this is the product tree of my design and the block diagram. My design is in rectangle shape. The material I use is UV light strip, electromechanical buzzer, DC motor, fingerprint scanner, optical, numerical lock, Arduino UNO, and the material I use is metal. The estimated cost for my design is about 254 ringgit 50 cents.
So this is my project design. This is the sketch view using the front view, side view and the top view. So this is the isometric view of my product design. I will use Arduino for programming and UVC bulb to sanitize. So this is the CAD drawing I using Mastercam 2022. This is the top view, front view and the side view. The box height, width and length are all 45 cm, and the material of this safety box is using metal. So this is the isometric view for the CAD. I will using a mechanical buzzer, a fingerprint sensor thermal, FRID, LCD screen, and there will be a handle for my safety box. So this is the product tree for my safety box. There are power part, body part which is cube and ultraviolet, a sensor which is fingerprint sensor, FRID, and the response is using buzzer, and then the DC motor and programming I will be using Arduino. And this is the list of the material in my product design, which are the bulb, UV light, cube shape for the safety box, and then the thermal fingerprint scanner, Arduino Uno for the microcontroller, and then the mechanical buzzer, DC servo motor, RFID as my alternate electronic lock, and the material of the safety box is metal. And this is the bill of material for my project design. So for my project design, this is the block diagram. So there is a power supply, and then the input is the thermal fingerprint sensor, and the FRID will send to the controller, which is the Arduino Uno, and the response will send back if wrong password or send to the output if correct. The output is the LCD screen, mechanical buzzer, DC servo motor, and the LED light bulb.
So now let us continue with the design tree, which will be mine. As far as we can see, this is my third design. This is a hand sketch for the front, side, top and isometric view of my design. As you can see, this is the front view, this is the side view, and this is the top view, and lastly this would be the isometric view of my very own design. Followed by the same design sketching but using Inventor software. This would be the isometric view, this would be the top view, and this would be the side view. Now let us look at the product tree of my design. In terms of power, I utilized a battery and on and off switch. For the body of my design, I created a trapezium shape with a UV baud light. In terms of sensors, I have employed a capacitive sensor, a retinal door lock sensor and a buzzer. Rather of that, I utilized a DC motor for the motor component. I chose Arduino for programming because it is widely utilized by current generation. So This is my personal designs material table. As you can see, I have used the UV bot light. This is the buzzer, electromechanical buzzer that I have used. As for the shape, I have used the trapezium shape. And for the servo motor, I have consumed the DC servo motor. And as for the type of fingerprint scanner as main lock, I have used the capacitive sensor. So this is it. And alternate electronic lock, I have used the retinal door lock, which accesses and opens the door scanning our retinal. And microcontroller would be the Arduino Uno. And as for the material, I have used the metal. Apart from that, I also done a research on my components that I have used for my design. As you can see, these will be the components we are using and its price. Now let us see the block diagram of my very own personal design. Thus, the input, capacitive sensor and retinal door lock will be delivered to the microcontroller. And in the case of the response will be sent back if the password is incorrect. Well, in the case the password is correct, it will be sent to the output, which is buzzer, servo motor and UV bot light.
As you can see, this is the design for that. This is my individual design for. This is the front view, which is contain ultrasonic fingerprint scanner, security locked, and as an alternated lock and a DC motor. At the top view is located this piezoelectric buzzer, and down view there is a Raspberry Pi as a microcontroller and the battery as a power source. This is the inside view of my design, which consists of the lid door, piezoelectric buzzer as I said before. The UV tube light is inserted above inside the cylinder, and is given a place to put the things. And my cylinder is made of metal. You can see this is the CAD drawing of my design, the design for using Inventor 2021. This is the front view of my design, and the top view and the side view. As you can see, this is the isometric view of my design for. The number 1 is represent the buzzer, which is called piezoelectric. The number 2 is the LED screen. Third is the lid handle. Fourth is the fingerprint sensor, which is called the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor. And last but not least, it's the security lock for alternate equipment. Let's look into the product. The UV sanitizer safety box. For my design, I have used used battery for the power, and I've equipped the on and off button. And for the body, I've chosen the shape of cylinder, and I have chosen the ultraviolet light in the type of tube. There are 3 types of sensor I'm using, which is fingerprint sensor, that is called ultrasonic fingerprint sensor. Second one is the security lock, and the last is the buzzer, which is called the piezoelectrical buzzer. And for the motor, I'm using the DC motor, and for the programming, I'm using Raspberry Pi. As you can see, for the materials, I have used the UV light in the shape of tube. The shape I've chosen for my individual design is the cylinder, and the fingerprint sensor I've chosen is the ultrasonic fingerprint scanner. And for the microcontroller, I've chosen Raspberry Pi, and I'm using metal as my material. For the alternate lock for the fingerprint scanner, I've chosen the security lock. And for the DC, I've chosen DC motor as a servo motor. And last for the buzzer, I've chosen piezoelectric buzzer. This is the block diagram. The power supply is supplied to the microcontroller, and the input is electric lock, fingerprint sensor, and the output will be the LCD screen, buzzer, and the servo motor. This is the estimated cost for my individual design. For the fingerprint sensor, it will cost RM30 ringgit, and the electric lock will cost us about RM34 ringgit and 85 cents. The microcontroller Raspberry Pi will cost us about 80 ringgit. The male to male wire about 20 cm, it will cost us 3 ringgit 70 cents, and the female to male wire at 20 cm will cost us 3 ringgit 20 cents, and the buzzer will cost us 3 ringgit 47 cents, and the LCD 16 times by 2 I to C will cost us RM20 ringgit, and the total cost will be 175 ringgit and 22 cents.
Based on the pure chart, the first design is the most meet with the criteria of customer requirement, so we decided to choose the first design as our project design.
By seeing this current slide and this picture, we can clearly say that this is a schematic circuit. So in that case, you are correct. This will be our schematic diagram for our project. Essentially, it depicts the wire connections and the components such as fingerprint sensor, buzzer, LCD, servo motor, keypad, and many others.
Let's move on into the suggestion fabrication. There are two types of two places, such as for the CAD/CAM 3D printing, which is called 3D Bitsy, and it's located at the 11A Jalan Medan Ipoh 3, Badan Baru Medan Ipoh 31400 Ipoh Perak. And the another suggestion we got is CAD/CAM Mining Extra at Billy CAD/CAM, located at the Buku Umar Polytechnic, Jalan Raja Musa Mali 31400 Ipoh Perak.
To test our project is successful or not, first we open the board box when the fingerprint sensor is correct or the password is correct only. And a small camera is inside the box. When the door is closed, the light will stay on for 5 minutes and automatically close after that. When we open the door when the light is still on, it will automatically close and the timer will reset after the door is closed.
So before ending, I would like to mention our objective. First, our objective is to design a safety box fixed with UV light. Next, our objective is to fabricate the UV light sanitizer safety box. And the last is to test the UV light sanitizer safety box. And here is our list of the Gantt chart. Please take a look. Here is the next page, continue from week 7 to week 14. That's all for our presentation. Thank you for listening.